What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today we've got another bed, just like the thumbnail shows. All right, so here's the situation. In a video a while back, you guys saw me take this bed, take the fenders off the bed. We took them to paint. That's where they're at right now, getting the cracks fixed, and he's going to respray both fenders. He's also got the tailgate, so the bed's going to have all new paint on it. Well, I say the bed, the outer side of the bed. Well, the situation was, guys, this bed, while in decent shape, okay, no bends or anything like that, it's got a ton of holes in it from a fifth wheel hitch and a gooseneck hitch. This guy had some random blocks of wood screwed in up front. I don't really know what was going on, but this thing looked like Swiss cheese. And so because of that, and the fact that it has a liner in it, so it's got a bed liner in it, like the do-it-yourself one, I'm not going to scrape that off. It looks like crap. There's also a pass-through for wiring for, I'm assuming, the gooseneck or the fifth wheel. What else was, oh, the rail on the driver's side was completely kinked at the upper rail, so the plastics don't fit right. So I found a bed. It was about 3.5 hours away, so I had to drive and get it, but I just got back with it yesterday. Well, yesterday when I'm filming this video, and it's in way better shape. Now look, it does have a fifth wheel hitch in it as well, but those fifth wheel hitches are smaller bolts, so it doesn't have the big gooseneck one in the middle. So in my opinion, because of that, it was just easier to deal with this. I'm gonna have my painter close up the holes, so that's why it's still on the trailer. It's always had a bed liner in it, so this one's not all beat up. Like the bed floor in that one's pretty beat up from people throwing stuff in it. This one is not. Aside from that, guys, we got a couple extra pieces like this piece. These were both broken on mine over there, so it's kind of nice to have some extra wiring, some extra clips, and some other stuff that we're going to be needing. So in this video, guys, this is going to run the span over a couple weeks, because I'm going to start it in this video. I'm going to take it out to him, fill up the holes, and then we'll go from there. But here's some of the things that we need to do, and I've already started. I took the T25s out that hold these guys, and these are the heat shields for the exhaust. I'm not going to be needing that there, so I'm going to take those off. I've got to get the bolts out that hold the fifth wheel hitch in, so he can obviously fill the holes. I got to get the wiring off, and then, guys, because I'm lowering this truck and notching the frame, we're going to have to cut these two braces. Okay, so here's the situation now. The frame, you can see the holes where this bed actually bolts on to the frame. So those two holes there, and then you see the two holes back there. So what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to get these two out of the way, because the notch is going to come up this much higher. All right, so the bed won't actually fit back down, so we're going to have to notch these as well. So that's going to be kind of the start of this video, and then hopefully towards the end of this video we'll have this thing back and we'll kind of go from there. But let's get started. I already got the T25s out that hold these, which is nice. This bed came from Texas. They're not all rusted in. Generally, guys, I don't know why they use Torx here, because they always strip, and a T25 is a pretty small one, but we got lucky here. I already got one of the shields off. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off, and then we're gonna get to cutting this, getting this stuff out of the way, and getting the fifth wheel hitch out. So I got all the wiring out, and I got the nut loose on one side, but I'm gonna have to have help, guys. I tried to do this by myself, not happening. Lifting it up to get the liner out and get that out, but either way, we need to cut this, like I said. I'm gonna go get probably a tape measure and measure this off, and we just need to go past this mark here and then take into consideration how thick the frame is. So probably go up past this painted area, and I'm just using my wireless cutoff wheel. I think we should be able to make pretty quick work of this. So after a little bit of a fight, and when I say fight, guys, it's just kind of hard to do this on the trailer. I wish it was off the trailer, but we've got it cut off, okay, and we've got it smoothed out. I made an additional hole. I don't know if you don't have to necessarily take this rail off. You could just cut, but it just looks a lot cleaner with it off. So he'll have an additional hole to fill here where I screwed that up. Guys, the easiest way to do this, and I don't like showing grinding on camera because it screws up my camera, but if you grind down the rivet, this is just spot welded. If you grind down that spot weld and then pull it off, it makes it a lot easier. That's why I didn't screw the other ones up. I tried to use a chisel on this one, and that's what happened. So either way, I'm gonna have to get somebody out here to help me flip this thing up. I'm going to power wash it, and then guys, we're going to take it out to my painter's house. At this point, guys, it's been a rough couple weeks as far as getting stuff accomplished in the shop, but I did get the bed back, and so we're gonna look at it, and then we're gonna go out. I got the truck back as well. So let's take a look at the bed first and talk about what's been done so far. Look, we got, obviously earlier in this video, we got these chopped off, and I told you we were gonna take it to my painter. He was gonna fill the holes, all right, and work some of the dings out that were in the bed from the fifth wheel hitch. We have that now, so you can see the holes are filled on obviously both sides, but you can also see that it looks like it's been scuffed up, and it's because it has. Actually, guys, Cohen did this. I pulled it out a couple days ago, and the whole reason in this, and kind of the stagnant part of this video, is we want to coat the bottom of this with something. And so that is the plan coming up, but I've got to have some better weather. A couple things. For one, my heater in the shop still does not work. I don't have any heat or air out here. So but even if it did, it's been really cold, so I don't want to paint. I need a day above 50. I'd like to paint outside because I don't want overspray on all this stuff in the shop. So that's kind of where we're at on it, but we're getting there. So this video, obviously, we're not going to have any more on this because we've got a string of cold weather and possibly snow coming up. But I did want to show you the truck because we got the truck back from my buddy at 417. So 417 Motorsports is who I had do the notch. And he made the notch basically from scratch. I say basically from scratch. It is from scratch, okay? I did not buy one. I did that last time. And honestly, guys, it shipped in as flat plate. And you had to build it anyway, and honestly it didn't fit the greatest. You'll notice that the frame kind of curves, and you can see that right there, and he built that into this. So instead of taking a piece that you're trying to make fit and then try to bend it or just weld around what you've got, he actually made something that fit. So I also had him do the flip kit, so you can see this thing is ridiculously low, or way lower than it was in the back. And but either way, let's talk about the notch. Guys, look, I gave him measurements on how far he could come up without interfering with the bed. So that's where we're at right now. This right here should not hit the bottom of the bed. And you'll also notice it's kind of rusty, but we're going to be coating the frame as well. But got some nice plug welds there. He made this frame piece where it bends with the frame. So it looks really nice. Closed up all the way around, very nice and sturdy. Guys, you'll have to check out 417 Motorsports. They do some incredible stuff. This is like a cakewalk compared to what they normally do. But yeah, we got this on both sides. You'll notice this one, you can see it's got a spot where he scored it so he could bend that piece out and kind of make that transition, because when you just get flat plate, you either have to trim it there or figure something out. But as far as the flip kit, guys, this is actually a flip kit from Tinworks, is who I ordered it from, and it's for an 88 to 98. Now, for the most part, the 88 to 90 rear end is the same as the NBS, okay? But the difference is he did tell me that the little flares, okay, so when you flip the axle on top, you use these little saddles, okay? With those saddles, they normally come up and touch the bottom of this. You can see how it's tucked up in there. Well, on the OBS trucks, they're a little shorter. This pad isn't quite as high. It kind of sets a little further down like this. So he was telling me that when he put this in, that it didn't go quite all the way up. So what he did was he ran a small bead around both sides after making sure the pinion angle was correct. So like I said, guys, it's not something that I could have easily done, especially I don't have a welder out here, and I just don't have the ability to do that. And this rear end's ridiculously heavy. He's got a shop that, you know, specializes in this. They tore everything out. So the fuel tank they had out, they had all the lines, the brake lines and whatnot out. So they had everything out of the way to do this. And I'm super happy. The only other thing they did that you well, you'll be able to see it, I guess, is when you do a flip kit on these, you have to adjust your carrier bearing. So you can see I bought a new carrier bearing from GM, and I'll list it in the description down below, but he had to make a spacer to bring that up. So the reason you have to do that is because that keeps the driveline angles happy once you move the rear end to the top side of the leaf pack. But if you step back, I guess probably the other side would be a little better way to look at this. I just brought this home the other night. It looks kind of goofy because we're going to be addressing the front, but look at how much lower it is in the back. I mean, I don't know, I don't have a total drop because generally a flip kit is 6 inches, but those leaf packs are so much beefier on the 3/4 ton trucks. I'm not really sure how much of a drop it got, but it's definitely lower in the back. And I drove it home like this. I did put, you notice, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the ridetech shocks, these actually were the ones that I took off of Dana's Yukon a while back, and they're the right size. The only thing I had to do in order to make those fit is when I went to pick it up, obviously the stock shocks wouldn't fit, but had to like kind of nip the end of this down. I don't know if you guys can see this area here because the body of the shock was actually touching. So did have to do that, but that's not that big a deal. I did, guys, get shock extensions. They're just not on here. I didn't feel like doing that at his shop, but these things, it rode great on the way home. No vibrations or anything. I drove it 70 miles an hour on the way home. No problems whatsoever. And he said everything came apart really easy. So like all your bolts, you guys know how sometimes they get stubborn and seize up over time. He said I didn't have any issues with that whatsoever. So my plan, guys, is to coat it just like we did the bumper, right? Remember we did the POR 15 on the bumper, but we're obviously going to have to knock down some of the junk on the outside, which will be, I don't know if we're going to do that. I don't mind doing in the shop because we'll paint it on with a brush, but I'd like to do the scuffing and whatnot out here. But anyway, kind of wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on. I was trying to make a video of just the bed, right? So doing the modifications to the bed, but it didn't work out. Had a lot going on here lately, but wanted to show you the truck while we had it. And it's exciting, guys. It's starting to come together. It's going to be a really cool truck. Cohen is bugging me to put the wheels on now, but I don't want to do that before we coat the frame. I really don't think I want to do it before. I mean, we could put the back ones on once the frame's coated, but I've got some other parts obviously to get for the front. But if you guys are enjoying this build, please, like always, go down there and smash that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed, go down there, hit the subscribe, ring that bell notification that notifies you every time we drop a new video, and stay tuned to see this truck come together.